Hey, we're recording this video on Saturday, the 10th of June, 2023, just gone 5:33 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend, time for another weekend futures market recap, where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I am seeing on my charts. And as usual, we're going to start with the E-mini. We're going to roll down from the daily charts all the way to the tick bar charts. Then we're going to look at 15 futures markets and the signals on the tick bar charts, and also going to show you a couple of the longer term charts on the futures markets too. So it was a good week for the E-mini. We continued to break higher. Remember that we had rollover this week, so some of the numbers are going to be different from last week's charts. We're up at 4,350-ish on the E-mini, which is good news. We're breaking through this triple. However, I think we got a little bit of trouble in front of us, and I'm going to show you that as we roll down through the charts. On the daily chart, confirmed uptrend, you can see the background is in red, which means our volume indicators and our price indicators are both in sync, showing us an uptrend. And there's nothing on these charts to suggest that the trend move is done on the upside. We've got to be looking for blue professional bars, pullback to end of trend signals, all of those kind of good things for the trend move is over on the upside. However, rolling down to the 135-minute chart, exactly 3 135-minute bars in a day session of the E-mini, and here we're about to make a pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame in the next day or so. So I'm just going to bump that up here. So there we go. This is this week's activity. Nice little support. It's a pullback in an uptrend. We've got a cross on the thinnest lines here, which is the lowest time frame. And so at some point we'll have a little bit of resistance on the upside on 135-minute chart. So it's the only bit of trouble we've got on the 135-minute chart. But 45-minute chart, here we go. We got a Rambo pattern at the highs up here. So the activity that we had on Friday was a super low average trade size. That's why the bars are in yellow, which shows amateur activity. Right at the high, we've got a Rambo pattern. Rambo stands for a potential reversal of an amateur breakout. So at this point here, poor old amateurs leading the way, thinking this thing is going to the moon, get a little bit of wrong-footed, and we're looking for the low of that amateur sequence there as an area that if that breaks, that means we're going to have some weakness. Doesn't mean potentially the reversal into a downtrend, but just some weakness after that and some profit taking. And you can see on the 45-minute chart, we put in our little pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. We're putting in pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. We haven't had a cross yet on better sine wave at the 100 level, where the red line goes below the blue line. So we haven't had that yet, but I'd expect that in the next day or two. So just look out for that on the 45-minute chart. And then on the 15-minute chart here, you can see the week's activity. These solid vertical lines on the left-hand chart here show the beginning and the ends of the weeks. And you can see here at the beginning of the week, we had Rambo patterns up here, whole bunch of amateur bars at the end of the day. And we're putting in that pullback to end of trend here on the 15-minute chart. So just means the activity here is driven by the amateurs. We could look for a little bit of a sell-off sometime this week and blue professional bars to step in at the next support level. I don't know if we're going to go try and close this gap on the 15-minute chart or something like that, but we're a little bit overextended at the moment. So some profit taking is happening. 13,500 tip bar charts. The usefulness of the 13,500 tip bar chart is we can look at the day and the night session all together. It's not dissimilar to a 15 or a 20-minute chart here. Beginning and the ends of the week, so you can see at the beginning of the week we sold off. We had a Rambo pattern down here. Again, poor old amateurs getting wrong-footed. We go the other way, and then they're wrong-footed again. That's a Rambo to Rambo channel. So they're selling the weakness there, and then they're buying the strength here, get wrong-footed. We come back down again, and there's the blue professional bars step in. So follow the professionals. So at that low there, professionals stepped in. We have a nice little rally, and this little pattern here, blue professional bars stepping in and so on. But we've had a nice little rally, and this low of those blue professional bars is really important here. So 43.27 a bit. A low there. Let's just see if the professionals have gamed it up here in order to move it into this region in order to take profits. And then the break of that 27.50 level would show that that is the case. So let's wait and see. If we break above the recent high, keep this move going, and we see blue professional bars on the upside, that will be a more traditional sign of profit taking. But just wary of that level. And on the tip bar chart here, yep, confirmed uptrend, but we are putting in pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out this week, but just bear this in mind on this 45-minute chart here. Those amateur bars at those highs with the Rambo pattern, putting in a pullback to an end is an area where we typically have a little bit of trouble pushing any higher, have a little bit of profit taking, and we sink back down to a support level where the professionals jump in again. So there we go. That's the mini daily chart all the way down to tip bar charts. And I want to show you, doing this on a little bit of a regular basis, the longer time frame charts. I call these daily charts, but they're not. They're 3 bars in a day session here. And so on the Forex charts, it's a 460-minute bar. So the interesting one, I pointed this out a couple of weeks ago, these blue professional bars on British pound. It's like what was happening here. British pound was in an uptrend because at 105 we had exhaustion sell, capitulation down here, blue professional bars step in, and that was a V reversal, and we went all the way back up, and it's been a strong move. Now I'm still thinking that the British pound is in an uptrend on the longer time frame charts because we haven't had an exhaustion buy. Exhaustion buy here is getting the move going, and then all we've had here is exhaustion sell and sell at these points. We know it's exhaustion sell because the signal is underneath the price bars here. We need to end this move with exhaustion buy, and we're nowhere near that. But we had some blue professional bars a couple of days ago, weeks ago, and I was worried about this, thinking, what's going on at this point? You know, normally we'd have a stair-step trade where the blue professional bars would come in at the lows here, but there was something going on there. Anyway, so they took profits and then they forced it back down, seemingly to buy it up again. So we're above that sequence, which is good. So the stair-step has come back up, and so we're continued uptrend in the British pound on these longer time frame charts. So that means weakness in the US dollar, strength in the euro, Aussie dollar, and British pound, and it's best shown on that British pound chart. Euro, we didn't have a similar pattern. We're waiting down here. Here's all the blue professional bars came in some months ago, back in March, and we've had exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, and we're calling around. This has not broken into an uptrend where the bars turn red yet, but break above 108 I think would be really significant on the euro. So looking for that this week, next week, to see where this little weakness that we have in the euro right now goes longer term. Aussie dollar, on this longer time frame chart, we had a nice little signal a couple of weeks ago, tested our patience down here at 65, which is a real low number on the Aussie dollar, and we've come back up. Now we've had exhaustion sell, we're oversold with the background in red, we're breaking above better pro-am here, so we're going to get another signal most likely on the Aussie dollar. So see the strength in all of those currencies and then the weakness in the USD. So that's just something to bear in mind on these longer time frame charts. But let's go to the tip bar charts now and look for the triple signals. So triple signals is when our 3 non-correlated indicators come together, where we've got exhaustion sell using a volume-based momentum indicator, we've got oversold using a better sine wave, which is a price-based indicator, and then we break above a trailing stop based on the professional activity, which is better pro-am. So 3 indicators non-correlated, and when they all signal together, we get higher probability trades. So let's start with the Euro chart, 1500 tip bar chart here. And we had a good week in the euro. We kept on cracking higher. No triple signals here. We had triple signals going off for the 2 or 3 weeks earlier than this, but didn't actually signal this triple because we didn't get exhaustion sell. But we've had some nice strength here. Blue professional bars coming at the lows. More blue professional bars at the lows. We stair step, better pro-am up. Little bit of profit taking here. It's 7 a bit, and then we come back down and hold it at 7 even. More blue professional bars there, and then we case away. Remember that we're looking for the price activity after the blue professional bars come in to signal what is actually going on. So they bought that low. We break above the highs of that blue series sequence of blue professional bars, break us into an uptrend. And so we've had a little bit of weakness over the last couple of days. So we're looking for the next blue professional bars to step in at the lows like this or like this to hold this move and then continue up through 108 at some point. That'll be really important on the euro. So British pound, as we saw on the longer time frame charts, is strong. Here are the signals a couple of weeks ago. Blue professional bars at the lows, not at the highs, not at the highs, not at the highs. They're not taking profits here or here or here. They're getting in on the little breakout here, on the low here, and so on. So we're in an uptrend on these currency pairs. Aussie dollar didn't get a signal down here at the low, unfortunately, because we didn't have exhaustion sell. We had exhaustion buy, getting the move going, breaking us out of this channel. And here are the blue professional bars coming in on that little dip. And we're strong at the moment, but no blue professional bars taking profits up here. So that's good for the Aussie dollar. Japanese yen Japanese yen's pretty volatile at the moment. It's a fairly tight range that it's moving through. I've got a signal short here, but not really a classic, because we've got all these blue professional bars culling it down and we hold that move. So breaking out of this channel is going to be really important. At the moment we're showing strength because the bars are in red, so technically we're in an uptrend on price. But we need to get out of this. So we've been looking for blue professional bars to hold it at some point and then break back up through 72 and a bit. So we'll see where Japanese yen goes this week. Then E-mini on the 13,500 tip bar charts. We've been strong here with a signal a couple of weeks ago. No signals to go short yet here, although we're overbought, but we haven't had exhaustion buy yet, so no signals this week on the E-mini. 10-year notes is a bit weak. So we had nice signals last week to go short. Then this signal, a little bit spurious, to go long. That was based on bullish divergence and exhaustion sell here, which is in the wrong place. We'd expect them to see them down here. So that was a bit of a phantom signal there. And then the lows down here, that's exhaustion buy, getting the move going. And that's what this signal has triggered off. So not classic signals on the 10-year, so wouldn't be taking any of those. Then precious metals, gold. Gold, no signals last week or this week, but look at the blue professional bars down here at 1955. Blue professional bars come in here. We test again at this level. They step in again. They didn't step in here. We got exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, come back up. So we'll be looking this week for a break above this 1990 level. That'll show us that gold is back into an uptrend. Silver, nice signals a couple of weeks ago, caught that low. And then this signaled short at this point, but we didn't really go anywhere. We've continued to strengthen there. So silver's still showing us that it's got some strength. Let's see it if gold comes along. Bitcoin, volatile week in Bitcoin because of all the news coming out about the SEC stepping in. I might do a video about that later this week. Look at the equities charts on Coinbase there. But you can see the strength that we had a couple of weeks ago ended up with exhaustion buy and professionals taking profits at 28.50. And then the sell-off here, this signal actually happened prior to this big move down to 25s. But look where the blue professional bars stepped in. They were taking advantage of that sell-off, started the move, forced it down, and then stepped in at lows. And now we've had a nice little test into those lows with a whole bunch of blue professional bars and an exhaustion sell pattern down here. So let's see if that's enough to bottom us at 25.5 and continue back to break into an uptrend. But we've got to probably put in a little bit of work testing down here before we convince the market that these lows were important, that we'll break back into an uptrend sequence. So that's Bitcoin. Now crude. Crude here, nice signals last week, right down at the lows, raced away. Last weekend's video was super bullish on crude because we had blue professional bars step in at the end of the week and we had a stair-step trade. And what we did this week was we gapped open on the Sunday open and all the blue professional bars stepped in and took profits at 74, 75. And then since then we've had a lot of weakness. But here's one of these patterns, just like these other charts. Bitcoin chart down here, waterfall move, blue professional bars step in. We test at that point, so we'd be looking for a similar type thing in crude. So waterfall move, exhaustion sell, we test back into that, so we'd be looking for blue professional bars to step in on crude. So it's been a nasty move down from 75 down to 69, but that was just profit taking, and this is getting in on the weakness. So be looking for a signal sometime this week on crude, blue professional bars to step in and show that that was an opportunity for the professionals to hold it there, get in at good prices down at 69. Natural gas. We're in the middle of the summer, so summer doldrums for natural gas. We had signals to go long, then we had signals to go short. I think we're just caught in a range down here at this $2, $2.20 on natural gas. And copper signals this week short, and we're finding it difficult to get through those highs. Nice signals a couple of weeks ago. There's all those blue professional bars from the exhaustion sell. This waterfall move where the professionals can step in that allow us to change trend into a strong uptrend. Up here, yeah, definitely some profit taking with exhaustion buys, blue professional bars at the highs, but it's taking its time to roll over and break and just dip the other way. So that's what's going on copper. And then the ags. Ags, a little bit of a messy charts. Corn, it's trying to weaken at the moment. We had signals all week, short, short, short. Let's see, it never broke anywhere. We've got blue professional bars at the end of the week. Let's see if we break through that congestion zone at those highs to see if corn sells off. Soybeans, yeah, a whole bunch of blue professional bars, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, has not signaled short. And look, there we go, TradeStation glitches again, not showing me the little chart window controls there to be able to shut this chart down. So I have to do some jiggery pokery in order, there we go, to get those controls back. TradeStation, please fix this. And wheat, final chart. Here we go. We had long signals, but at the end of last week, blue professional bars taking profits here at 648. So a little bit of no man's land here for the ags. So there we go. What I'm looking for this week is the Forex charts to sell off a little bit and the professionals step in and hold it, and we get a continuation of uptrends on the Forex charts. Let's see if we get some profit taking on the E-mini and where the professionals step back in again after a little bit of weakness on the E-mini. So let's see this week if crude makes a nice little double bottom down here where the professionals step in again and drive it higher. So some interesting things to look for in this week's trade. Hope your trading is going well and looking forward to next week.